Turon sin foi Balak Ador and Coda Pelicanis.
Yes, Stofa, like Glanmire, Ruder, Gwynna, Brunel, Nachmin
Le Trinity Meteors, Fara Tanya, couple of corn, Fuyisha, Winchlet and Club. How can I take a type of it between all of the players there? I felt Aisling Moran very unlucky. She kind of got caught in the screen there. There was nothing else really that she could do, but it was a very, very effective screen set at the top of the D to leave that space to the Himmery TVC. Rudder tag Tarlu Gomenican shot to Kruger Factor Ma at Glanmire and Chin. They're 5 out all the time at Glanmire and they're attached to the Giri Guller and Unsi. Free Unsi and shot and Lehiru Jarish Alawa Hazel Finn. Chenchi done at the near because Lager at the ton to late the shot to Lehiru Kelcha. Kay Glanmire Gol Gasta, Kay Guller and Free Unsi Gasta, Bear who Golo Hevoine, go T Velad and Park Fuilan Lewis. August Vayab and Lehiru Curtis Jat. Rudder tag Janta, Costa Aintak and Chin. Like a scored dog crash to Jonathan Chin, beyond Cumber and Chin. The second time, Lindsay, that I'm going to remark on her footwork inside the paint there. An absolutely brilliant score, especially being marked by 2 players. Not only was she able to get in the air, but she was able to score that basket as well.
Yeah, but I think you'd be a better man to describe it with your back to the basket and being double teamed. You'd forgive anyone for being under pressure or forcing a turnover, but she, like you said, used her footwork, waited, got the space, and then went up and made the basket. So yeah, she's actually been a lot of calmness by Anne Cumber.
Big call, you can hear the crowd. Need the Inchilish Red Shore and Kunshin agus ta slua bra bally his John Shore heed na leibe clay doing ya ta na brata ha gorma or heed na leibe clay agus na brata nasser heed like the Jashin Shin. And we can now see Meteors are an Unsia reach, a very interesting call being called a double screen or a point double screen at the top of the D, leaving that space in between. But it's the movement of such a pass. Mia Eilish Ericsson, but from the rebound, from the pass back out, it was an absolutely sublime pass inside, Lindsay, a super pass. Seemed to be a double dummy screen set at the top of the D, nearly cutting the defenders off, which was allowing space for the point guard to drive through the middle. Let's be honest, it's a huge occasion. It's a massive game here. Neither of these two teams, Glanmire haven't won this for 3 years. Trinity haven't won this for 30 years. It will take a minute or two to settle in, but Glanmire really need to focus on those offensive and defensive rebounds.
Yeah, but I'll be, if I'm honest, I think that's a little bit unfair on Emer Dunn, to be honest, because I think she is really working hard trying to, but she is the only one consistently fighting for the boards on the Glanmire end, whereas if you look at Trinity Meteors, nearly all 5 of them are going for their ball. Even on the offensive end for Trinity Meteors, we had Aisling Moran, we had Ciara Mulligan just before the break running in for a rebound, chasing down so it didn't go out of bounds. So for me right now, there's a lot more want on the Meteor side.
There's an absolutely should score Doc Credgston, Shin Joel Watkins and Shin August Marabi Maraj, Naj Armad Gary and Prio score Leo Heath Kersey Frahid Lane and Shin August Tashi Soccer Jasically and Shaw Tashi Guller Nunsi Nis Menic and Maravians and Kid Kuig no Shay Nobin Abomachin Shin August Tashi Kurgamore Lehemmerts Glanmire and Shin August Tashi and Ye and Clea Shaw Coppermoo Shock Puncha Jag and Teven Shaw Shelf the late Roger Arishtig Watkins Lawa Aintak Usa Jackie Ni Irian Lehi and Iri Shin August Shelf the late Roger Rashik Trinity Meteors and Shin it's Evelyn a win and rebound Shin August Brescia Mahan Shin late Roger Lawa Hazel Finn Tan screen lag Haji Tashigiri Spas the crew Haji Ta pass Tiva Steve Probawine the late Roger Shin pass Dog Craig Lindsay. What an absolutely super play and a super pass inside. All coming from that pass and that dummy kind of screen for Hazel Finn there. But sometimes people think defending when they're there, when that pass is gone, that the play is over. But there's always that wee kick pass, that wee back pass inside, and we just saw it there, and it puts Trinity back on the far line.
Yeah, hit the nail on the head. Trinity Meteors are really asking every question possible of the Glanmire defence because you're healthy.
Being Shelf na Leihra Jag, Nis Monem or a wine Tasha de Kurtu, August Tasha de Golf on in the punchy na passing the bigger pressure Shannon Douglas Shaw, Bedricker Shannon Fargo should punch a Huntussi and Shaw, Egg Tucson Darnick Gaffrey and Shaw, August coming to Mahisa Orhu and Shannon Not Wilchid, Egg Braher Imra or wine Moratal Glanmire, via Sigahan and Yusner Hanik with just Jahan Yu, Go Harry Hill Watkins, August Cumber and Shin Guru Kega, Puncha Scoral Cha Akuhian. And St. Cleha Lacan is Shoku, August the Marode Garo Meteors, the Gullah Anact, August and Cleha Shaw Winch Gomea Warhu, and Duhlan of Eakuna and the Himmery Shina Stopu. What a pass! What an absolute super pass inside.
That is unbelievable. And they are dragging Glanmire from one side to the other. Glanmire don't know whether to double team or what they're doing. They're kind of in no man's land, and Meteors are doing unbelievable at getting that backdoor cut and finishing off the move with a score.
Yeah, that backdoor pass and that backdoor cut as well. A lot of the time, defensively, people think that there's one play and that pass is gone, but if the player continues his run inside, there will always be a pass inside. And I have to say now, 2 minutes gone, yeah, one with you catching Shaw, Tucson Darna Catherine Shaw, actually hit Dog Credge, Duggan and Shaw. We have a super game now, 2 minutes gone inside the second quarter here, Lindsay.
We do, and we can see just before the last time out, they're just running that play, so it's down screen, it's coming, and they're looking for this mismatch, so they're overloading one side to create the space on the other, which is so simple, but what the play is doing is having all 5 players moving and seeing what they can create off that, and they're really, really causing Glanmire a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah, Emer Dunn and yeah, Chakras Jahan, yeah, G suspect of here, and Vincent a couple of fuckle coachly sucky marks Scanel he near a Roshi or near Erin Kurtz Shaw Shelf na Leirridge Curtis Jab Trinity Meteors ta punch wine to get for Idir na Fornia free hit punch and Shaw Trinity knee punch a jag Ashley Moore a lehich to Tashnish knee keeping them Kived or a baseline pass and a Yanu Trinity Meteors. Trinity Meteors are using that backdoor pass all of the time, Lindsay, and I would imagine that 80% of their scores are coming from that very, very simple play.
Yeah, but what's happening is Glanmire, like we said, are in no man's. They're kind of coming up, but they're doing nothing. They're not double teaming, they're not putting pressure on the ball carrier, and that's what's creating that space with him, that indecision. So Mark needs to make an adjustment, have a look at that and adapt his defence to make them go to a different option.
Shelf na Leirridge Rashid Glanmire. Alawa Arish Joel Watkins Joel Watkins Shear agus Shansik Anya McKenna captain the Fornianchin Anya Corbrewer Ashley Moore agus Ashley Moore Nagiri Cassie Harder Brishy Freed to Shelf na Leirridge a foil ag Ashley Murphy to Leirridge Anish Alawa Kyla Horsemeyer Banatanya couple of score Tawaka Amchu agus Arish and Cashin Fuin Keishan and Shin. That battle again, Lindsay, under the boards for those rebounds is so important.
That's a big score, but I don't think the philosophy seems to be from Meteors that they just won't let any ball go loose without being challenged, and they're working so hard, and that's why they're level. They should be probably a little bit more ahead, but nothing is facing them now, which is good to see. It was spoken before the game, could they manage the game if they went up or if they went down, but they look fairly much in control to me right now. Just a word on Glanmire. I spoke to Mark, he's actually a coach of our Masters team, so had a chat with him, see how he felt with this final. Obviously their Americans have been 2 big guns, but they've a very young team outside of that. And I suppose with the Americans being taken out of the game, it's now, I suppose, pressure on to see can these young players step up.
Yeah, August Mahina, Chakras Jahar Clehan, and using Marlot from him. The Marodiga Trinity Meteors able to stop a curl at Vian Cumber. August stop a curl at Joel Watkins, Vewan Bua Shanaku. Joel Watkins, who has scored 15 points at this stage in the game. But Timage Taggart Yanu Arish and Chin, then job at Yanu Ashley Moore and Chin Gazi able to breast you ma. August and Sculler Sheerig and Shan Steelchin, he point guard this. He able to breast you ma. Goldfried and pinch. Tashin yes, Kishanella score Trinity Meteors and Chin. To differ Yaf Buncha Eder Nafornia. August Clinio in which on Tivlin Arish August. Sheer Alehid the score. Ta Evelyn Trihena and Sean. Ta Evelyn Trihena and Trihu Kishan as Jesha Kira scored Chicky. August Scum count the 3. 1, 2, 3, 30 meters. Let's go. Yeah, one with August Cara has second, Fank and Sean. There are Arkham 2, he statistically did. Ta Kira Fowl, John Blake, Trinity Meteors and Sean. Neve Shirigiri Shansala. A Horchta, the Emery Glanmire, Gullig and Lena Falchin, August Nahirikli, the first to Shinavaya group. Be much Louis, much at Shaw, Tus, Clean, New, Fantawaka, one and Leve Crin, only Nation. August is Kincha, Knockmay, Trinity Meteors, Gumname, Shidigiri, Fowler, Biela, Agalu and Chin, August Liggins to Glanmire, Filas Chat, Arash, instantly him, August Ganak, Ya, Punch no punch wine, either in the Purnia. Shin Punch Harvey Tawak, Mia Furlong. August is Fada Ovi Majugas Gana, Puncha Wine, Eder Nafornia, Ya Womacha, Cara has second Legol, Troraha Chaktasja, Seamus Donnelly, he's Funya. Trinity Meteors, Brishy Maher and 3 on Sirish, Maravi Marach, the Troraha Vion Nama, Iron to Leroy goes in air, August goes to chance. Leroy just allow Hazel Finn, Bugger go Gasta, Allow Helena Keane. Pass Dalcredge is Joe Mahan Shea Joe and Keane. Rebound Tawak de Vesson Shaw. August Leverage and Fatchet. August Kelsha reached Evelyn. Kayla will Leverage. Now beyond Cumber. Tashi Teven Weed and Lena ta counter to G. Shishinna and Lena done 3 winship. Chen Watkins are announcing. Tetchin Leverage on Talu and Chuck. Similar Ramon and Chuck Cougar Fall. No Tashell of the Leverage and Ish Egg Trinity Meteors. To Puncha Wine Eddernafornia. Trinity Meteors, Yafuncha Kega, UCC Glanmire, Puncha Kega. Glanmire, Bull Jesus. Glanmire have pressed up here. They probably want to try and draw this foul to get onto the line there, Lindsay.
They have, but that's a good foul by Watkins. Probably, again, a frustration on the maybe lack of call for it. But if we notice, Glanmire have also changed their D in the last set anyway. They went to a 2-3 zone, it looks like. And they're obviously not giving up the key, which is the green part coloured in on the floor. So it'll be interesting to see which will really slow down. So there's 2 things. They've gone to a press, which is really going to slow down the offence and take some time off the clock. And then they've gone to a zone, which again is going to force Trinity to take up fur shots or rush shots.
Great take by Hazel Finn and Shin Lindsay. Ní and Lehi, August and Leher just Arish Alawa Watkins. Isha August Nabutishi Orish Erhi. Leher Janish Alawa. Annalise Murphy, Tanya Chakras Jagus, Chunaker War of Ek and Clea, Na Jarman and Puncha, 3 Puncha Shinna scored, she cup the number in. Tad Trinity Meteors, a goal's a chance and shot. Trinity Meteors are a wee bit of taking the chance there on that foul. Ox scored Dalcredge and Shinna Watkins. Duncader, the Tamil Tada, Ta Glanmire and Ye, goal Puncha, Wine Huntussi. August Maravi Mataraj, Nakeshna, Ver one, Trinity Meteors and Ishna. Vishad Huntussi. They were ahead. Trinity Meteors are now losing by a point. Lindsay, questions are now going to be asked by Glanmire.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be the toughest time now. It's nothing to do with their physicality. It's going to be their mental application to keep sticking to the game plan, sticking to their game plan, and putting Glanmire to their B or C game and forcing poor shots out of them. So, be interesting to see how they react now.
Especially Shannon Dinniger Court, the Glanmire Sheldon Alera Javeaku. Now. Vian Cumber, Novia Hugginchitter, he and Chin. Ta Bumacha Wine Lagull and Chuck, Maravi Maraj, Ta Trinity Meteors, Ta Kirafile, Sariha Aku and Shaw, Sakahu Shaw, Nive Shirigiri Fala, a Gallant and Shaw, Aknia Wine Chin, Kahishid Guller and Unsi, August Kahishid and Differshin, Defuncha Wine, Akur, Edder Nafornia reached Ava in a 1-tasha Aku Hien, August Aid Huntussi, Pass Ain't Duckasja, Akhane Creeknihat, Sheldon Alera Gafoil, Egg Trinity Meteors, Augustus Alawa Hazel Finn, Tan Screen like a G, Anyan Hazel Evelyn and Tech and Roll, Tan Leroy Program off on you and Iraq on your tree, Ghost and Air, Marajer Magodi, Ronald Tajanta, August Arish, August Cara has second back Yogan and Cho is Everett 3 jig, Fran Traleha, Imror International Latvia, Atanya score a Crudi Hien and Chin, August Rodakar and Arish, Kara Puncha Wine, Eddernafornia. Maravi Maraj, we're now in foul trouble here. Looks like it, Lindsay.
Yeah,
dangerous now for the last 28 seconds that are left of the third quarter.
But unbelievable score there. Unbelievable rebound and a hook shot under pressure. That's what you like to see in finals. But again, I suppose Watkins is really causing them problems. She's so languid. It looks like her crossover is so quick. If you blinked, you'd miss it. And really a powerful athlete, so once she gets in around the basket, if she gets any bit of trajectory or a bit of momentum going to the basket, she's very hard to stop. She's already on 23 points.
Tasha Harvey counter tip. August and Krug, Falch and Galt Dugget go Harry. August Lena Bristol. Line broken there. Vishishin Lefakal, August Eric Dalla and Shaw Watkins. Near Erie Lehi and Erishin. Near Erie Lehi a Cactor Dunda, Kenavaki Gijisha. August and Lena Shin Bristol. Rudda Agan goal and Trihu Eric Deki. Listen to Furnia Shaw, a Kohrumu, August Glanmire, a Cur, Kera Funches Kagan, Trinity Meteors, Kera Funches Kagan, Tan Scarch and Chocolate Jab, O Hazel Finn, Mera Wine Sineriki, towards Trorehead and Emery Siki, Tan Passionum, Tapas Gloche is Jab, the Dummy Shin Shoulder, a Lehich to pass is Jab, Evelyn, what a pass, what a play.
Evelyn has been unbelievable today. Coolness personified. Just look what's in front for her. Oh, great, brilliant steal.
August Bontastic. The Lindsay Arachin Cake and Wire is the Evelyn. Bishinye 3 Keishan as Jesha Kirla scoring like this Heel Michigan Kinnell Ashton Vishay. Gerwin Sheamus O'Donnell Amahi Mar O'Nimmerch. Tashinye D Helivu Aliadu Lehrich and Chin pass Tokas Jab Hazel Finn. Correctly she lay up dá credge to simply in sin Akru Brewer he Haring she and fall agus anish by Jeshiki agus gan ag punche de hien Fakib at the Hacken Fakir and club to Eric the here's the thing agus Harish Courage punche Eder the Cornier. We're back to 5 points just like that. Just within the blink of an eye, Lindsay, we're back to 5 points.
Yeah, and it's brilliant. I think really that's it, that sequence of play. Meteors basically said to Glanmire, bring your damnedest because we're going to come at you even harder. And you know, they're really not succumbing to Glanmire's pressure. They seem to always have an answer for them, and they're well within this game. And we said they'd be tested in this purple patch, but they've answered.
Much better defensively, all right? We're helping. If you get caught on the screen, there's help there. We're blocking them out. If they score, they earn the right to score, all right? Okay?
Defensively, there you go. X gets the 5 fashion here. They pass off and they chase. Let's do a better job now with the 5 to 9 this.
Denying the big girl, getting the ball. 1, 2, 3, 3 meters.
Ain't similar in Chinder Ash to the Seamus Donnelly agus Mark Scannell Neil Brewer captured and da coach Linjo Tasharin Defoyne agus Tasharin Livingston Henry Socky Gullama. Very interesting listening to them, how calm, collective, even though you and I are shaking here, we can barely get our breath, but how collective Mark and Seamus are putting their teams back out on the court.
Yeah, to be honest, they haven't let the pressure and the energy around us. We're like goosebumps here standing on end, but yeah, and I love the tone. The timeout is to get your players relaxed back in the game or reset them, and he's done that really, really well. There's been his tone hasn't fluctuated in any way, and you can see that through his team. Yeah,
Sean Mudge, Jai Momachil a goal. Lehroj, Shalom the Lehroj are reached and Shin ag Trinity, agus here a goal or anunci. Ta Brewer, Corha Aku. Tan Lehroj bunch of Mahik Glanmire and Shin. Cas Denny de Imrory, Meteors, Har and Lena and Shin, agus ta Shalom the Lehroj and this Elawa Vian Cumber. Tashigiri Tusa Curla, Lehemmer Chaku, Chiam, Heath and Shower, Heat and Alive at Jesha doing you.
It's funny
zonal set up already for the first minute. We could hear the ideas. You can hear Lindsay, the Trinity Meteors players calling one another back to close that middle up.
Yeah, so they've gone to a 2-3 zone, so they're just going to basically protect their basket now for the next while and force Glanmire into shots and try and get the rebound, which you can see there.
Yeah.
Which is a really smart tactic, because what you don't want now is, in Glanmire's head, they have 10 minutes to up the intensity, up the game, get easy baskets, and Trinity basically said, well, we're just going to build a wall around our basket and see if you can break us down.
Umland Cardugat, August few knee moment, August fiha second five to Trinity Meteors, knee hegawal Chidagiri, and Cleha Awilyu, August Fanacton Tussi, taking shit and Tawak to win a Leshkan, let Emmer be legged to Shaft region pension. Imror Cussel Watkins, Abel the Shasu Sus, August Shock Puncha is feet a scoring. As Kincha has come off a Ken Cousin Shayanan too. Being she able to brush you for region.
You know what? It just comes so easy to her. She is an absolute joy. This game has been a joy to watch, but the fact that she just two-stepped and stroked that home, she might as well be playing the Masters in Augustus. Yeah, she's 27 points, and we said at half time we thought Garushi Kuhn galore, that we thought that she was quiet, but then when we looked at the stats, Honig Mudge Garu Puncha is fee, no shot or knee punch jag score chicky. But now we can see the importance of having a clutch player like that, who, when they are under pressure, is still able to get that shot away to draw the foul, but more importantly to score as well. Yeah, the thing about Mark Scannell and his longevity, he's been with Glanmire since 2005. He just had a break between 2014 and 2016 to go to Glanmire, or to Neptune, excuse me. But he has built a very young team around these Americans, and what that does is their talent and their expertise and where they've come from will bring his Irish players along, and that's the key to him. He's also produced very talented Irish teams. Foul Janta, August Shelf na Leithridge Shin Curha a draw Watkins and Shin. Neil Sugam and Darna and Chagwell Shin Shin and Tiger Hitchy, Niaka Mission Board and the foul and Shin and Red Shore Italian Nikini and Shin B Lawa Fran Tillia Grim Watkins and Shin, August Bedger Shin and Tiger Hitchy and Shin. Ak Momacha August Cara has second 5-10 shot. Tan Zonal Cousin Shin Gafoil a Yanuik Trinity Meteors Tasha Darach. Neil Shivagal and Spash in a horse deep. First time today we've seen the shot clock and nearly the thread of the shot clock. Yeah. Glanmire had 1 second left on it there, and that's because of that D, that zonal D that Trinity Meteors are doing there, and not letting anybody through the middle, Lindsay. No, that's what they want. That's the job of it, to force really poor shots to keep the ball on the floor. And again, It's been oh, there's Ava Learn again.
Yeah, Ava Lee, Shin and Darna Hurdy, Shin and Yanu, that's the second time that goes to Shin John Dickey. August has put August Carvey and Tree Hurdy come out as August score Harvey Tawak the Fatcheki and Shin to Gifford the Shay Punche coming out shop Punche Eder Shay Punche Eder in the Furnian shop. Nurata Rodata symbol, Nurata Trinity Meteors over the goal. Oh, Lehich the Fast. Lehich the Fast, he's Winkation. What a play, Lindsay. What super hands.
Unbelievable. And it's mesmerising to watch, but like the Glanmire players are just standing still. They're not dropping, they're ball watching. But
Cousins dog credge to John Day gave a learn. Lay Roger Hevel at Fark or the Dilkirk. Score! Harvey Tawak in Shin. Harvey Tawak to Helena Keane. August Ash the luck, August Archer luck on the Trinity Meteors. Ahanella Ganya and a Hassan Shaw. Jai Punche Eder the Furnier. Shop Bummelchogus Troha second Panka. Lehich the Hassan District Trinity Meteors. August Lehich the atmosphere in Shaw done Clehe Canish right his Shaw come away.
This place has erupted. Do you know what? Trinity Meteors, it's not that they're working exceptionally hard. Every player on that court is working hard. They're getting rebounds, they're taking care of the ball, but because everyone is moving, they're creating the space for each other.
Let's get up high on the defense. Up high here, and then take care of the back. When the ball goes to the corner, drop in, get out here, drop into the middle. No easy layup. Stop giving away backdoor layup. At least in the zone, that should stop. If we can test shots and we rebound, we get some runners. What are we doing now offensively? Let's go back to what got us there. They were in zone, they're mixing up the D. All right, let's get play zone. Horns, Lakers, quick. We got to be quick. Stay with X when we have to. Come on, let's go.
Strorharik, Mark Skinnell, Ayrat, Lahimuri Saku, could get he should be his guest selection late right. August Shinna different in the Furnian shot, knock me in, probably in the late right, Yanu Trinity Meteors. Go Wilshit Nice guest ship. Trinity Meteors far quicker with the ball, no bouncing of the ball, no delay, not worrying about the amount of possessions that they have. They're far quicker. Those are the words coming into Mark Skinnell for his own team. With 7.5 minutes to go here, Lindsay.
Yeah, I think we both know for all our years playing basketball, it's cliche to let the ball do the work, but that's exactly what this Trinity Meteors team are doing. And because they're doing the work, oh, that's a poor call. Yeah,
Shin Harvey Tawak the Hazel Finn and Shin Luck Lanta Glanmire, me Hostel Kenyu and Rachel and Shin Vian Foul Shin Janta and Tigarusha Janta now. Gunyahi Hazel Finn, Honikshe and Barna, Vichy Guller drawn the lay Roger. She went for the ball. What a play! What a super foul to win there.
Unbelievable.
Glanmire supporters aren't happy, Lindsay, but she saw the gap. She went for the ball. Brilliant play.
Absolutely brilliant play, and we knew Hazel Finn would be key to, she'd be a key catalyst to how well this team are going to do. But everyone has stepped up. They've been an absolute joy to watch, and they'll probably just finish this final off, I think.
Fragra Claire O'Sullivan and Shin. Fragra Harvey Tawak dip. Maravi Marach and Shin Mawin and Sheheen and you, because Mawin and Far Kayla Siki Kieran and you, Tamar Coachley, Le Ballion Colleague, Ben and Kader, Bashir, Kader, Far Kayla, because Ban Kayla, now Lannon Posta, Sry a winch, and Sinean Dana Wine, Ak, Ta Uber Lejanu, Margo will Jai Funchik a foil, Ider in the Fornia, Ak, Chummel this to Tayol, August Matadinia Yol, listen Chummel the Earn the Horcharai. It's a legend the Imror na Claire O'Sullivan August Ia Giri Fern Siki Horch on Ken Tashan Ye and Leherich in a cur and scores in a crew di Hien to Og Punch Eder in the Fornia August Tan come Brescia shot Mia Lehi Minute Meteors Shea Womachugus Troha second Fike Tashit Nice Mulya and Erie shot Tashit Kurdu Niklushapti Kaishan and Passive Krin Kayan Passive Slopwork Kaishan Shellam Nele Roger Connelch Ma Arian Loffa, na passing a Cochrane agus a V go G shot agus Mudge and St. Trihu and St. Kahru Ma Arian Loffa Shinayanu Ben the Jeshin Shinoku to Ahru Janta to Catherine Connor and ye Emmett Kirch or Chapter Statter and Kirch
Helena Keane a big
agus Helena Keane and ye Emmett Kirch agus a couple of Bumcha Harvey Tawak Deki Leroy just jab
Mary O'Mahony, Angie McNally to name but a few, and they will be delighted that they finally got back to the promised land, and deservedly so today.
Deservedly so. Trinity Meteors, Curry's Friday in the Blainer shot. She2, Seamus O'Donnell, she's here in the Glen of Sigan. She2, Ferrin Sigan, Wee Kelly Rear and Kirch and Chop. Ahan, no help, Queen Kate, then Adelia Hannikas Jock, and Shaw New of the Aster, Glanmire, Avia Gullen, Cleha Shaw Winch. Up, Tasha John Dick, Trinity Meteors. Now Jarmid and Kelly Rushin of Yoki Shaska Blaine are there. Now Jarmid and Bumacha Kunis of Yogin Rib, Cleha and Lay and you. For Ahan Ella Roda Kudjuloff and you. But Kay Majorat, Garo coming to my his or Vishat Nice Slacker and Vishat Nice Far. August Vishat Abela and Wish in the shape puncher, August and Varnish in the shape puncher, August Tilchikomoyoki. We have to say, Lindsay, 60-year celebration last night. The minute silence before the game in memory of one of the previous Trinity Meteors coaches. All of those small wee, and I know it is cliches that you talk about 1% and all the rest. They got them all today, they took them all, but they were by far the better team as well.
They took the 1% and they grabbed it out of Glanmire's hands. They were like rabid dogs, like they just went after everything. They're well-deserving champions, and I know my ex-wife will be very happy. This is her club. Mandy Clark is their manager, whose mammy helped erase this club. They lost Pat a long time ago, unfortunately. They run the Clark tournament. This is a club steeped in history but hasn't created their own history in a long time, and today, as I said, they can relish in that. And I just thought the overall match was brilliant, and they are well worthy winners. To see the standard of basketball on both sides, but pure basketball, we can both say it's a standard you want to play. It's basketball at its purest. They just played. There was no inhibitions, and congratulations to everyone involved. It was just a joy.
Yes. Cleha Arabe Tawagda, special to Starrell, the Trinity Meteors. August 10 Kelly Shaw, Telchik and Mayoku. Mujgullah Brishu, August Chucky Majarash from Brunny when he Aquins, August Lindsay, Cogartis Rish, the Trinity Meteors. Curry's Fryhead in the Blaine shot, August Telchik and Mayoku. Sinead, Team Major, Scallon and Shaw, Cor, Eveline, August and Lucian, Luke, Run to Erhip, Lake the Hammerhat, Nuravina Punchy, Tashel Gogera, Trinity Meteors, Nuravina Kishan Chinaku, the Yoloru, Nuravi Oru, Chapter Ash, because Nuravi Oru, Golan Kinnery, it's Eva Trayon, Legame Dunglore.
Dominoes, Women's Super League Champions, Trinity Meteors.
Maravi, Lindsay Ratchin, Lindsay, you just said it a minute ago. The lift that this gives to the league. We had the third place team and the fourth place team here today contesting the league final. What a lift for all of the other teams. What a lift for the likes of Trinity Meteors. They were 10 and 8 in the league. They won 3 games after Christmas. We talked about questions that were asked of them when they were winning earlier in the league. Quarter-final, and semi-final when Leicester and Waterford come back. They will take a huge amount of momentum from this and a huge lift from it as well. One of the big people, the people that we need to really congratulate here, as we said, is Seamus Donnelly. Yep. He's taken a lot of these players through from under 18, the 2 cups that he won. Now he can build on this, and as you said, he can now attract more players in because they are now warranted league champions.
Absolutely.
And we'll go back, Brian Majarash, Andrew, August Anna Sharish, Erlen Cleha.
Good, Lauren Emer, Tashay Boots.